Welcome to Take a Break, Take a Breath for Wednesday, May 25th. I'm Rick Boyer, the pastor of Prospect Presbyterian Church in Maplewood, New Jersey. And Take a Break, Take a Breath is an opportunity to do just that, to take a break from all of the activities of the day and just breathe, to breathe in the presence of God and to center yourself in God who made you and loves you and calls you by name. For each Take a Break, Take a Breath session, I focus on a particular reading of scripture, and we've been reading through the Gospel of Luke, and today we're on Luke 12:49 to 59. Jesus has been talking about the urgency of the times, and in this passage, he uses many different images to, again, speak about that urgency and also to address an unjust court system. He starts out by talking about his baptism, and the baptism he's referring to is actually his crucifixion, his death. So he talks about fire and death and how those things are coming and it's going to be bad. And then he talks about divisions in families. And for the people of that day, a family was the most tight-knit group or social structure in all of society. It gave you your the class you were in, how you lived, who you connected with, who supported you. And so when Jesus talks about dividing 2 against 3 and 3 against 2, he's referring to the creation of new communities and new family structures. We've heard him at other times say, "Who is my father and who is my mother?" Then he goes on to address the situation of recognizing just how serious things are. And in the Middle East where they were, if a wind came from the east, they knew that it was blowing off the Mediterranean and it was going to bring rain. If a wind came from the south, they knew it was blowing across the desert and it was going to bring a scorching hot day. And he said, if you can read those things, why can't you see what's happening now? And then he covers a lot in this brief passage. He turns to the matter of an unjust court system. And the translation we have is, judge for yourselves what is right. It would be better translated or clearer in English if we said, judge for yourselves what is just. It's a matter of justice. And he speaks of the court system. The court system in those days, if you had a debt, one of 2 things would happen to you. You could be indentured as a servant and work it off, or you could be thrown into prison until your family paid it off. And most of the time, that meant that your family was going to have to sell off some of the land they had. And so this is a case of the rich getting richer and the system being abused to take advantage of the poor. So if you haven't already done so, go to a quiet room in your house. If the room has a door, close the door and settle into a chair and get comfortable. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. As you breathe in the breath of God. And as you breathe out all that separates you from God. As you breathe in the breath of life. And as you breathe out all that does not give you life. As you breathe in God's peace. As you breathe out all the things that don't give you peace, all your worries, your fears, your anxieties, all of your concerns, all of the tasks and deadlines that you have for just a little bit, just for this time. keep breathing in deeply and out. In and out. In and out. And imagine, because it's true, that the Spirit of God is growing in you and around you. Picture it coming like this, like an east wind, a wind out of the east, blowing over the Mediterranean. You feel the wind, and you see the clouds that bring refreshing rain. And as the rain falls on you, it renews you. It brings the waters of God's life. Experience that rain and the presence of God and God's Spirit as it lands on your head. Your hair gets wet. Your mind gets calm. Feel it on your face. The presence of God relaxing the muscles in your brow and around your eyes and in your jaw. And as that rain runs down over your neck, the refreshment unwinds the tensions in your neck and eases the stiffness. And as it runs down your shoulders and your arms and your hands, the muscles in your shoulders relax and your hands open up, and the muscles in your arms are renewed and refreshed. And as it runs down your back, the weariness in your back is washed away. And as it runs down over your chest, your breathing stays deep and calm and renewing. Your heart rate is at a resting pace. And as it runs down over your stomach, it relaxes the muscles in your stomach and calms any anxieties that are settling into your stomach. And as it runs down your legs, all the way to your feet, the weariness in the muscles of your legs and feet is washed away. The Spirit of God is covering you from head to toe, from outside to inside, every part of who you are. Keep yourself in the Middle East, in the days of Jesus. Imagine what it would have been like to be there, to be in the crowd, to hear these words that the days are urgent. The fire is ready to be kindled. Jesus will undergo the baptism of death. Families will be divided against each other because of the new community of Jesus' followers. Hear him as he calls out the court system, the injustice of throwing people in prison for debt. What would it be like to hear Jesus talking about the injustices of our own day? What would he say about the awful, awful rise in gun violence and things like the shooting in Texas yesterday? I'll be quiet while you talk with Jesus about the injustices and pray with Jesus about the injustices of our day. And then the time comes for the conversation to end for today, for now. If it's not long enough, press pause, or know that you can come back to this conversation whenever you wish. You end the conversation in whatever way is appropriate, and you allow that image to fade away. And you bring yourself back to the room where you are. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Let's take a break, take a breath for Wednesday, May 25th. Our reading again is Luke 12, 49 to 59, and there's a lot in there, so you may want to read it a couple more times. If you have feedback for me, or if you want to talk or pray, send an email to rick@prospectchurch.org.